Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And in the last episode, we helped out some miners and did a little bit of a shooting competition as well. And right now we are heading our way over to a place called Bylany, and there are going to be a few little quests that we can do over in that area. But before we do, I actually wanted to show you really quickly, we actually got a new crossbow, and this was from that competition we did. And this thing is truly gorgeous. I think this is maybe my favorite appearance-wise crossbow in the entire game so far, and it just looks awesome. It's also quite powerful. It's not as powerful as the one we were using before, but it is still quite good. So I think we are going to be using this quite a bit during the rest of this game, but as usual, we are going to take care of our perks really quick. And nothing too crazy here. We are just going to get Creeping Phantom 2, which is going to make our movement speed faster when we are crouching. And on Vitality, let's say, it will probably just be something like Never Surrender. I think most of these other ones aren't really even slightly useful. If your health drops below 25 points during combat, you get a plus 25 bonus on your armor, so I mean, I don't intend to go that low, but in the event that I do, there you go. Now on craftsmanship, we will probably just go with the 7 League boots. This will make it so self-repaired boots. Sprinting will cost 50% less stamina with them, so we'll take that. And horsemanship, we'll probably just take the head start too. When using the fast start double left shift, the horse will start even faster than before, and you will not lose any stamina. Pretty good for traveling around the map. And pole arms, keeping a distance, blocking while using a pole arm will be easier, more effective, and will cost you less stamina. Typically with a pole arm you want to keep your distance as much as possible, so using it to block isn't maybe the best thing. I mean, I guess you kind of have to at some point. They will always try to close that distance. Long reach, attacking the pole arm, or attacking with pole arms will cost you 10% less stamina. I don't know how that correlates to the name of the perk or anything. And the perk itself doesn't seem very good. Militia training, the strength and agility required to use pole weapons will be reduced by 3. Assuming this works the same as the other perks that reduce the strength and agility, this may make it even better for the ones that you can, and I think our poleaxe here, yeah, min strength is 22. So let's see, what is our strength right now? Strength is 16. So it'll lower that requirement to 19. Will still be a little bit too low to use this poleaxe efficiently, but it should be a little bit better if we go with this. So I think we're going to go with the militia training. And as far as agility, we're okay there, but hopefully it'll make it a little bit easier to handle. And then on unarmed here, we're going to probably go with this Jawbreaker. Each of your subsequent unarmed attacks in an unbroken line will do more damage than the last. So, pretty much the way I try to do unarmed combat is I try to go for a kick, and that usually opens up for you to just kind of wail on them left, right, so on. And this seems to work the best for that. Just to kind of up the damage for each of those subsequent attacks. So we're going to go with that, and that is our perk points used up, so we're going to go ahead and get to these Bylany quests.
It seems you're looking for help, Sir Knight.
Indeed I am. I'm looking for men for a military expedition. I am Sir Jan Posey of Zimburg.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
Who are you, anyway? Whose service are you in?
My name is Henry, and you could say I'm in the service of Sir Radzig Kobyla, of Skalitz.
Great. I see you're kitted out pretty well, all right. Have you ever been in battle with that lord of yours, Henry of Skalitz?
I have. Minor skirmishes, big battles, and not just with my liege lord.
Good. If you can keep your wits in battle, I could use your help. Have you faced Cumans? Turks? Don't they frighten you?
I've faced the Cumans. Those Hungarian mercenaries torched our village and killed my parents.
My condolences. But your experience with fighting the Cumans will come in handy. I'm on the trail of a band of humans who captured my brother. And I need someone who'll watch my back in combat.
Your colors, sir. Battlements, silver and red. I don't think I've ever seen that crest. Are you from far away?
Moravia. I'm the heir to... that is... I'm the Lord of Engelsberg Castle.
The heir or the lord, sir?
Lord, now. My father died recently. But let's not waste time on niceties and family history. Time is pressing, and my brother is in captivity.
How was your brother captured?
We were ambushed by this band of human cutthroats in the woods near Kuttenberg. They killed my men and took Miroslav captive.
How come they didn't kill him too?
Well, they're not stupid. They knew he was a knight and they could ransom him. Or worse again, sell him into slavery.
What brought you and your company to the Kuttenberg region?
We were riding to Sedlets.
What's so important in Sedlets that you'd ride all that way?
We were transporting a valuable cargo.
Hmm? What was it?
That's a family matter that I can't disclose to you. Certainly not until you promise to help me rescue Miroslav.
Is anyone else gonna ride with us?
No one. It will just be the two of us, if you accept my offer. I asked the Lord of Pisek for help, but it seems the Bohemian lords are shitting their brays and afraid to set foot outside their walls, as long as Sigismund is camping there.
So you want us to track down and defeat a Cuman band? Just the two of us?
Are you afraid? They sneaked up on us. Otherwise, we'd have driven them off. They won't be expecting a counterattack so soon, and we'll have the element of surprise.
It sounds pretty hazardous. How do you want to handle it?
Well, here's the plan. We'll go back to the place where the Cumans ambushed us, follow their tracks and catch up with them. Once we find them, we'll free Miroslav and take revenge. Can I count on you?
All right, Sir Jan. I'll help you.
Yeah, excellent. I was starting to think I'd never find anyone in this kingdom with a grain of courage, but I need you to obey my commands to the letter. This is a matter of life and death.
I understand, sir.
Follow me, Henry. Mount up and ride with me. Tell me, Henry, where are you from?
From Skalitz, sir.
Ah, drop the sir. You're riding into battle with me, so call me Posey. From Skalitz, you say? Where's that?
It's not far from Sasau. They mine the king's silver there. Well, they used to. The place was torched and pillaged by Sigismund's army. And it's been abandoned.
Right. You mentioned that. But all glory to your family to the end of time. Today we shall avenge them. That I promise you.
Sir, Posey, where are you from?
My father, Albrecht, ruled Engelsberg in Moravia. But our family is originally from these parts. Our house was founded by Miroslav of Simperk. He built Simperk Castle near to Kuttenberg and also founded Sedlets Monastery.
So you're a local?
Yes and no. Our family is from here. We've lived in Moravia for several generations. Enough talk. We'd do better to quicken our pace. Dig your spurs in and stick close to me. That's where they ambushed us. Well, well. I see the scavengers are gathering. Follow me, Henry. Halt, you thieves! Don't move a finger, or we'll kill you all! Who speaks for you?
I do. Who are you?
I am Sir Jan Posey of Simperk. And these are my men here, who you are robbing and desecrating.
Your man?
Stop stammering and introduce yourself to your lord, you beast!
Mercy, sir. My name is Wojtek. We never did nothing to no one.
Did nothing? Robbing the dead is a crime. And since these are my men, I have every right to sentence you all to death for that crime.
But, sir, we didn't take nothing valuable. We was just looking for some food or some little thing we could swap for a bite to eat. These are evil times, and my wife and kids ain't got a morsel to eat. Be merciful. Sir, please, don't let him kill us. I beg you.
Posey, wait. Hey, wait! Surely you're not going to kill them?
Have mercy, good sirs. We didn't take nothing of value.
Don't side with those bastards, Henry. We can't let this go unpunished. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't execute them on the spot.
You're a knight. Isn't mercy an important part of the creed you were born into? Ever since I was little, I dreamt of becoming a knight. And I always believed it wasn't just about fighting and killing, but also mercy and defending the weak. Show these wretches that a knight knows more than war and death.
As you wish, Henry. I don't think they deserve mercy, but have it your way. You hear that, you rabble? Go! And remember, you owe your miserable lives to Henry of Skalitz. It was only his words that saved you from execution.
Thank you, kind sirs. You'll never see us again, I swear.
Vanish!
Well, that's that.
It's pretty clear from the tracks which way that band set out. But I'd still like to have a quick look around here.
Why? What are we looking for?
There was a priest traveling with us, Father Stephen. I need to know whether they got him or not. Search the bodies on the road. I'll have a look around the cart. If you find him, come and let me know. He has something on him that's valuable to me.
Can I ask you something first?
You're all right, but spit it out quick.
How come you had a priest traveling with you?
He was an emissary from Sedlet's monastery. We needed him when Father died.
So you were escorting him back?
More or less. No more questions now, Henry. Time is wasting.
How did they ambush you?
It was dusk. But we wanted to stop off at Kuttenberg for the night. Those whoresons must have been following us for some time, waiting for an opportunity. They rained arrows on us from the woods and then charged us. Before we had time to muster, it was all over.
How did you survive the ambush?
When it started, my mare took fright and carried me away from the battle. That damned beast saved my life. By the time I got her under control, those swine had already hauled off Miroslav and half of our cargo. I chased after them, but they lost me in the woods.
Shouldn't we bury those bodies? We can't just leave them lying here.
Unfortunately, we don't have time for that. May God forgive us.
That's all.
I thought you'd never stop asking questions. We've no time for chatting here.
All right. I'll check all the bodies and see if I can find that priest.
Good. And Henry, if you happen across anything that you might find useful, go ahead and take it. You have my permission. You should go into battle properly equipped. And anyway, someone will loot everything before I can send anyone here. The fellas had halberds. If you find one, it'll surely come in handy for keeping those bastards at a safe distance.
No doubt you're right. I'll see if I can find anything useful then. Right. I'll get to work then. This must be that priest. Dead and robbed. Whoever did this has no scruples. I found that priest. He's dead.
Lord have mercy. Did he have anything on him? A small chest?
No, I didn't find anything like that. They must have stolen it.
Yeah, that's all we fucking need. Well, there's nothing to be done about it. I'll deal with it later. Now we have to save Miroslav. The Cuman's tracks lead towards the woods. It shouldn't be hard to track them, but we can't do it on horseback. We'll leave the horses here and go on foot. Stay on my heels and be prepared for anything.
Let's go then.
After me. This way. Hey, girl! Wait! We want a word with you.
Who are you, sir? What do you want of me?
Have no fear, lass. I am Sir Jan Posey of Simburg. How are you called?
Fiolka, sir.
Well, Fiolka, we're on the trail of an armed band of bloodthirsty Hungarian mercenaries. Have you seen them? They carry curved swords and have strange clothes.
Carved swords? Mother of mercy? I haven't seen them, but demons like that must be hiding in them creepy ruins on the hill.
What ruins?
Ma forbade me to go there. Wait, sir? Did you say you're from Simburg?
I did.
But then you must know it. That's what those ruins are called. Simburg. Ma told me there used to be some great knight living there. Was that your papa?
What? Those bastards are holed up in our abandoned castle.
Well, they're definitely not at our mill.
Fuck! I'll show them. Run along home, Petal. It's not safe here. Henry, follow me.
God be
I'll
with you,
teach those
tonight.
bastards.
You show them beast.
Hiding out in our ancestral home? Those bastards. I'll slay them all. Fuck. This is it. They must be hiding here, quietly. They're really hiding in the ruins of our castle. Kurva. I'll hack the lot of them to pieces. Come on, let's try to get closer. Carefully. We don't know yet how to deal with them. Listen, here's how we'll go about it. There's more of them, but we have the element of surprise. We barge in and get right in the middle of them. They've got archers, but that way, their bows won't be worth a damn. We'll kill as many as we can before they get their wits together. But it'll still be tough. You have to watch everything around you, not give anyone a chance to get behind you. If they pile up on you, don't stop. They'll get in each other's way, and that'll be our opportunity. A quick attack and then fall back. No fancy stuff, all right? I'll keep them busy, and you take them out with the halberd.
What about your brother, though?
I haven't seen him. He must be hidden somewhere in the ruins. We'll cut those fuckers down and free him.
I think we'd have a better chance if we attacked at night.
And leave Miroslav there to rot in captivity? Fuck that. Let's attack now.
You said your brother was taken for ransom, right? They won't harm him. Otherwise, they wouldn't get paid. If your brother is half the knight you are, he'll hold out, and we will catch them off guard.
Have it your way, then. We'll hide and wait till dusk. Well, it doesn't get any darker than this. Remember what I said, and let's go. Are you ready?
A frontal attack is really jeopardous. We ought to go about it more cunningly.
Oh, for Christ's sake. You've already made me wait till dusk, and now you're having ideas? What did you have in mind?
I'll sneak in and find Miroslav, free him, and give him a weapon. Then there'll be 3 of us against them.
Having Miro at our side would be a big advantage, but it wouldn't be easy. And if you fuck up, you'll be left completely alone in the midst of those cutthroats. I can run to your aid, but whether I can be fast enough... Are you sure you can manage a thing like that? We can still attack together. Splitting up against superior numbers is no more clever than a quick charge.
I'll manage it. I'll do it my way.
You're all right, Henry. I'll take your word for it. I'll keep my head down here and wait until the fight starts. Then I'll charge in and help. Here, take my sidearm. Give it to Miroslav when you find him.
All right. Be prepared.
God go with you.
Megítallom. Mi lehet ez? Mi lehet ez? Ja, Help me!
I'm here to rescue you.
What? Who are you?
My name's Henry. I'm here with Posey.
Ha! I knew the bastard would come for me. How does it look outside?
I got one of them, but we still have to deal with the rest.
So let me out, and I'll help you. Have you got a weapon for me? That's Posey's sword. Well, anything my brother can wield, I can handle even better. Let's do it.
You ready?
Aye, let's kill those bastards.
I'll show you! What?
Bad luck.
Hard! I'll pay you, grab. I'll follow.
But...
You fellas took your sweet time.
You ungrateful son of a bitch. What's the matter? Been tugging your bone too much?
I'm still strong enough to get you on back. All right.
Good old Simberg. Home sweet home, eh?
It's a bit ironic you saving my neck right here, eh? Poetic almost.
Nice fucking poem. Nice work, Henry. I couldn't have managed it without you.
I'm grateful to both of you, seriously. But what the fuck took you so long?
I went to Suchdol after the ambush to recruit some men to help.
Well, you didn't find many. They wanted coin, huh?
Not even for coin. All I found was a bunch of chicken shits hiding behind the walls. Not one pair of balls among them.
What about Henry here?
Henry's not a local, fortunately.
Where are you from, Henry?
From Skalitz, sir.
Sir, my ass. Call him Tugbone like everyone else.
Tugbone?
It's a long story. I'll tell you another time. Tell us instead where you learned to fight so well.
Indeed. It was fucking lovely. Who taught you? Your father?
I've had a few teachers, and a lot of practice, too. But it was the Ratai captain, Sir Bernard of Oleschnitz, who taught me the most.
I don't know him.
Nor I.
He's an excellent swordsman, and a tough teacher.
Yeah, tough teachers make tough warriors.
So, what are you two gonna do now it's all over?
Over? We've barely started, Henry. Miro, please tell me you know where they took it.
I don't know where, but I know who. When we arrived, the band split up. The leader is a big cunt called Sharkan who speaks a bit of our language. He questioned me, but I told him to go fuck himself, and he gave up on it.
So it seems we still have some bloody work ahead of us. But first, we must reward Henry here. Here. You've earned this fair and square.
Thanks.
If you want to earn a bit more, stop by in a few days. Armed and ready for action, like today. Meanwhile, we'll camp here. Then go back to bury our men and find out where the rest of those whoresons are hiding.
What did they steal from you that was so important?
Oh, sorry, Henry, but I can't answer that. It's a question of honor.
He helped us, though. Didn't he, Posey?
Be quiet. If anyone finds out, we're fucked. It's bad enough that our own mother is refusing to hand over our inheritance. Or have you forgotten why we're here?
No, I haven't.
I thought so. Sorry, Henry, but it's really not possible. Once we find our stuff, everything will be clear. But right now, it would do more harm than good.
So this is your family seat? It looks a bit, neglected.
Well, it's been abandoned for ages.
Our clan has a certain tradition of, becoming impoverished.
Ah, bollocks. Just because we weren't born with a golden tit in our gobs doesn't mean we have to die like beggars. Our ancestors had to abandon Simburg, but our fortunes turned. We've got another Simburg castle in Moravia.
Which we had to abandon too, brother.
Aye, for now. And now, the Simburgs have their seat in Engelsberg.
But we had to leave there when our own uncle denied us father's inheritance.
We'll get it back, though.
Actually, I'd be interested to know why they call you Tugbone.
Ha! Here we go!
Oh, come on! It's a long story. We don't have time for it.
Oh, go on, brother. Tell it.
I won't! You'll just start laughing like the village idiot again.
I won't, I swear. On my word.
Bollocks, I don't believe you. Sorry, Henry.
Oh, well, I'm not going to force you. I'll just tell it myself.
Jesus Christ, you can't be serious.
Oh, come on, it's a good laugh. When we were little, this prioress from the abbey used to come to the castle to teach us to read and write. She used to come early in the morning, and one time... she walked into Miro's chamber and caught him... I can't finish.
Oh, for Christ's sake. She walked in just when I was... playing with my hobby horse. That's all.
You were what?
That's tugging his bone. Tug bone.
Yeah, hilarious.
She never came back to the castle again after that.
Maybe that's why you can hardly read.
Yeah, could be.
Well, I wasn't sure what to expect. Not that.
I'd appreciate if you didn't mention it to anyone.
Naturally. Otherwise, we'd have to kill you.
What? I'd never...
I'm just yanking your pizzle. Tell anyone you like. It's a great story.
Jesus.
All right. I'll bear your offer in mind.
Thanks for rescuing me, Henry.
Look out for yourselves.
Jesus Christ.
Is there anything you'd like me to do, brother?
Certainly, my son. Pray regularly to our Heavenly Father, attend Mass, and live an honest life.
I meant if you had any work for me.
Ah, I see. Well, I just so happened to. Some strange bones were found not far from here, so I'd like to investigate it. And you can help me. I need to quickly deliver a message to the Abbot of Sedlitz and bring back a reply.
I've never been a messenger for the church before.
The ways of the Lord are mysterious. For instance, I'm traveling to Vlashim. I'm a messenger too. I decided to spend the night here, and, well, you can see for yourself. When someone discovers something like this, whatever it is, we have to deal with it straight away. It's a church matter.
So the message will be about the bones, will it?
Of course. But if you want to hear any more, you'll have to promise to help me.
I'll deliver your message for you.
Thank you. And as I promised, I'll answer your questions. What do you want to know?
Who's this message for?
It's for the head of Sedlet's monastery, the abbot. He's the only one who can properly assess the situation and decide how to proceed.
But they won't let me into the monastery.
You don't have to go in. When I was leaving Sedlet's, the abbot was planning to visit a small church near Kuttenberg. A new parish priest, Tobias, took charge of it recently, so I suppose he wants to see how he's doing. In any case, the important thing is to deliver the message right into the abbot's hands.
Why do you need a middleman to deliver the message? You said you're a messenger yourself.
I am, but I'm headed from Sedlet's to Vlashim, not the other way round. Besides, folks from the village are already spreading all sorts of rumors about the findings. They come to me wanting to know what the bones mean. They're worried it's some kind of divine punishment. If I were to leave now, it would look like the church wanted nothing to do with it. And I certainly can't let that happen.
What else do you know about the bones?
A woodcutter found them and brought one here to show to the locals. Of course, the story spread like wildfire. People think they're dragon bones or something. I keep trying to explain to everyone there are no dragons in these parts. I mean, St. George killed a dragon, that's unquestionable, but I seriously doubt it was in the woods by Bylany.
Why not? Maybe a dragon really did live here.
If that were the case, we'd have records of it, lad. All I want is to help the locals to not be afraid, so they can continue to live in peace and God's favor.
That's why you're writing to Sedlet's monastery.
Yes. I'm hoping the abbot can advise me how to solve this unfortunate situation.
Thanks. I think that's all I need to know.
You're welcome, son. Take care on your travels.
Father, may I have a word?
We're in the middle of an important discussion, my child. Can it wait?
Forgive me, but it's urgent, Father. I have a message for you from a monk in Bylany. It's intended for you personally.
A monk in Bylany? Brother Slava? He should have been in Vlashim by now. How did you come by that? Where did you find it?
Find what? What's happened?
This here,
Henry.
Henry brought a message that a dragon was found in Bylany.
A dragon? A live dragon?
Just some large bones. But everyone believes they're from a dead dragon. One of the locals found them, some woodcutter. People are afraid another one will appear at any moment now. And this time, a live one. They're quite frightened.
Couldn't this fellow have made it all up? Or could someone have planted the bones there?
You think someone might be trying to mislead people? And the people of Bylany in particular? That doesn't seem likely. Someone likely really did find something odd there. If the parishioners are uneasy and confused, we have to help them. And if this man made it all up, as you say, we'll see to it they stop believing all that nonsense.
Has anyone seen the bones? Do you have any proof?
That's all I know. In any case, I think Slava put everything important in the letter.
If it's true, and the people there really did find something, don't you think the king should be informed?
Why? You ask me. The people are in need of spiritual guidance. A matter for the church, in other words.
But I'm sure this find would interest His Majesty.
The king? Which one? Wenceslaus? Gerhard, I'm sure the favor you enjoy at court won't suffer if you spare Sigismund further headaches. Don't forget, you're still a member of our order, and the well-being of the church should be uppermost in your mind.
The good of the church is the most important thing for me, I assure you. But could this not also be of use to us? Yes, the whole of Bylany is talking of nothing else. But if we actually had those bones, if everyone believes it, maybe they'd be a better use for the remains.
That's enough. The fewer people know about it, the better.
Of course, you're quite right.
Henry, you will make sure the bones are handed directly to Slava. Understand?
Why me? I'm just a messenger.
Not anymore. You're in Bylany. You know the place. Slava will take care of the people. You'll take care of the bones. Don't forget that helping the church is the worthiest deed of all.
What will you do with the bones? Destroy them?
That isn't your concern. They just have to disappear. But since you're so interested, yes, I intend to destroy them.
Shouldn't I bring the bones straight to you, sir? Then you can decide what to do with them.
Good heavens, no. There's enough talk about them already. Bringing them here would only make things worse. You'll hand over the bones to Slava.
I know you already discussed it, sirs, but wouldn't it really be better if the king was at least informed about them? He might want to see such a rare thing with his own eyes.
Indeed, that's another reason why the king should know.
We could take them to him together. When I find them.
Enough. I've already said we will not drag the king into this. No one knows what this really is. The people in Bylany are going out of their minds on account of them and ignoring our teaching. I do not intend to allow word to spread about any of this business. Do you understand me, Gerhard?
Yes, Father.
And as for you, Henry, this is not your concern. You have your task, so just make sure you accomplish it. Disobeying my instructions could be considered heresy.
I understand, Father Abbot.
Gerhard, show him out. God be with you.
This way, then. Phew. That was quite a discussion, eh? The abbot isn't usually so stubborn, but it's true that his opinions often tend to be, well... Hold on. Have you got a moment? There's something I need you to do.
What's it about?
It's an offer. It will be worth your while. Shall we discuss it?
What's it about?
It's about this delicate matter of the bones. You might have noticed the abbot and I don't quite see eye to eye on this.
I noticed.
What I want to say is, I believe you people have found dragon bones. You wouldn't make it up, would you? But I also believe it's inappropriate to do anything with such a rare relic in Bylany. It would be put to much better use in other hands. So I'd like to propose a deal. You bring me the bones, and I'll reward you generously for them. What do you say?
I'm afraid I'll have to refuse. I don't like the sound of your offer. Besides, I wouldn't want to go against the abbot's wishes. So no thanks.
Suit yourself. But don't expect me to let you deprive me of those bones. Farewell.
What's going on? You're all covered in blood, lad.
I brought you a reply from the abbot, brother.
Excellent. What did he say?
He told me I should first go and find the bones and bring them to you.
That makes sense. What else?
You're supposed to destroy the bones after I bring them to you.
Destroy them? Very well. I'll do what the abbot asks.
The abbot doesn't want the rumors to spread any further. That's why I'm supposed to find the bones as soon as possible.
Well, get to work then.
Do you know Gerhard? The abbot was just talking to him when I brought him your message.
I know Father Gerhard. Why?
I got the impression he'd like to have the bones displayed for all to see. For his own benefit. He also spoke about Sigismund and his court.
What's that schemer up to now? But if Gerhard really wants them, he'll do anything to get them. We have to hurry.
I think that's everything.
Very well. The woodcutter who found the bones is called Vashek. The find didn't do him much good. People are either making fun of him, or they keep pestering him. He wanted to make a name for himself, but this isn't what he expected. So he's rather bitter now. You'll have to go to him and convince him to help us.
Well, I'll get going then. Any idea where I should start looking?
Try asking at the tavern. That's usually a good place.
God be with you, worthy sir. Please forgive the intrusion, but I'm here on a rather pressing matter.
This isn't the time for that, lad.
You seem to have misunderstood me, sir. I have urgent business to attend to, and I need a little favor from you. I heard there's been some sort of discovery here. You wouldn't happen to know anything about it, would you?
That sounds like nothing but a rumor to me, sir.
And who might you be?
Nobody important.
I see. In that case, you should probably leave, lad.
Oh? I think I'd rather stay.
Suit yourself, then. But stay out of our conversation. Let's get to the point, priest. Where were we?
I don't know what I can...
Stop your stuttering. Where in these parts did you find those dragon bones?
Sorry, I don't know quite what you want me to tell you. The dragon is an instrument of the devil. He is using it to delude people and spread terror and suffering over this whole domain.
For Christ's sake, get a grip. Stop rambling and tell me what you know.
But I'm sure we can come to some peaceful arrangement. Who are you, sir?
Look, I'm not here to exchange pleasantries with you people. My name is Leopold, and that will have to do.
That will do fine, of course.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, down to business. Where are these bones?
I don't know. I don't have them. All I know is that they were found by a woodcutter from here in Bylany. The woodcutters have a camp east of here. They're clearing the Rapstein forest. That's all I know.
And what about you? What do you know?
I don't know Rapstein either.
Well...
You seem to have done some digging. Who are you?
I've already told you my name is Leopold. You may regard me as... let's say a well-educated alchemist.
You're an alchemist?
That's right. Although there are some scholars who might disagree, but none can deny my learning. I could put most of them to shame. That's all I will tell you. Who knows where I can find the bones?
I reckon you've already heard everything you need to know.
That's for me to decide. Besides, we agreed on something. And you want to break our agreement?
I say you've heard enough. So move on, and try your luck elsewhere.
It never ceases to amaze me how stupid some people can be. I'm not finished yet with this monk, but give this one a proper working over.
To hell with you!
Take that! Fuck
what do you want?
Hey, get him!
I'm just getting warmed up, you shit! I've been waiting for you.
That was something!
Hey, get him! Shame on you!
I've been waiting for you.
Hey! Stop fighting!
We're going to get you, you whoreson.
This is unbelievable.
I've been waiting for you. Ha! Ah!
Useless! Do it!
Shame on you.
You're no match for us, fucker. Bad luck. Ooh. I've been waiting for you.
Come on then!
Ha! Ooh.
Take that! Do it! Come on then! I'll rip your ass open! Ah! Show your stuff! Ah! You won't get me! Ah!
Turn the stocks with him!
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker!
Filthy vermin.
Hey! Get him! Show your stuff! Fucking hell! You won't get me!
Shame on you. Hey,
Well, that's that.
For the love of God, how could this have happened? How could someone be so violent and quite unnecessarily?
Coin. There's always coin behind it. I bet he wanted to sell those bones. He'd think up some better story. Like that he brought them all the way from Germany. And people would give their right arm for them.
I suppose you're right. Everyone is out for worldly gain. But worldly gain won't bring peace to your soul.
You all right, brother?
I'm fine, thank you. They didn't harm me. They had their hands full with you.
I'm glad you're all right. What do we do, now that we know there are all sorts of people after those bones?
You've got to find the bones as quickly as possible and bring them here. We can't let that brute get his hands on them. Go and see Vashek the woodcutter. Maybe he'll remember the way there.
I'll be on my way.
May God watch over you.
Thanks. Are you Vashek, the woodcutter who found those weird bones?
Jesus, why the fuck do you people keep bothering me about it? Are you never going to forget about those fucking bones?
What happened to you? Are you all right? Did you get beaten up on account of those bones?
What do you think? Maybe I ran into a door 20 times in a row. There was some fellas here. The big head asked questions, and the other two gave me a battering. And what's it got to do with you, anyway? Leave me be.
Are you the fellow who found those bones? I need to know.
What the hell do you want from me? Aye, that's me. And now kindly piss off.
You say people coming to see you? Why?
To ask stupid questions like you. Where are them bones? Is it really a dragon or just some dead cow? Or, aren't you imagining it? Maybe you should lay off the booze.
I need to find those bones. Can you tell me how to get to them?
Here we go again. So, you want them for yourself. For what? To sell them? Make magic? You know what? Go to hell.
No, nothing like that. I'd take the bones away and have them destroyed. Once they're gone, folks will stop talking about them, and they'll leave you alone. That's exactly what you want, isn't it? So help me out, and you'll be left in peace.
I suppose you're right. What is it you want to know, then?
Who's been asking about those bones?
Everyone. There's no one who hasn't heard about them.
I don't mean the villagers. I'm more interested in strangers asking about them.
Ah, right. Well, it was mainly those bastards who beat me up. And then there were some soldiers asking questions. Well-armed, proper tough blokes. I thought it best to just straight out tell them everything I know.
Where did you find the bones?
I'm not sure. It was somewhere in the woods, but I never went back there.
You don't remember the way?
Not exactly. I was just walking through the woods and stumbled across them. So I took one and scarpered.
You took a bone with you? What does it look like? Do you still have it?
Not anymore. I took it to show to the fellas, and they just laughed at me, saying I drink too much. It was one of the smaller ones, but still pretty big. Too big for any animal I know of. I decided to smash it to bits with an axe as soon as them strange fellas started showing up here.
Can you at least describe the route to me? The parts of it you remember?
Well, I was working in the woodcutters' camp, not far from Bylany here. And after work, I thought I'd walk along the stream that flows through there. Then I went along the path towards Rabstein. When I came across the ford there, I followed the left creek upstream.
So you didn't go as far as Rabstein?
No, I'm telling you, I was there because of the stream. And you come to it before you get to Rabstein. So I waded through the water for a while, till I came to this rocky slope on my left. And then there was this massive rock in the stream. And I didn't feel like climbing over it. I'd gone a long way by then, so I thought I'd go back home. I climbed out of the stream and went left up the hill and across this little glade towards Mesoles.
Is there anything you remember about it?
You bet there was. There was a huge tree stump and lots of mushrooms around it. I picked a couple. Then I went around some thick bushes and headed on towards Mesoles. I went past a few fallen trees all the way to this old hunting hide. Nobody uses it anymore, and it's nearly collapsed. There, I saw boulders on the slope below me, off to the left. I walked alongside them till I reached a clearing, and that was the spot.
What did the clearing look like?
Ordinary. Pretty big. Sand and stuff.
All right. Thanks. How come you walked through the stream? Who'd want to do that and get their feet wet?
The thing is, I heard there was precious stones to be found on the bed of that stream. But they're really small, and you have to grope in the sand and look hard.
And did you find any?
Nah.
Why did you go towards Mesoles from the stream? Didn't you say you live in the woodcutters' camp near Bylany?
I just work there.
That's not much of an explanation.
Sometimes I go there to see if there's anything worth shooting. You know what I mean, don't you? Nobody minds. No one lives there anyway, and the houses are all in ruins.
All right, then. Thanks for your help. Once I find those bones, your worries will be over.
Yeah, whatever. Just don't bother me again.
Here it is.
You just won't give up, will you? One rather hoped that you would have comprehended the foolhardiness of getting in my way. How is one to achieve anything when one's endeavors are constantly hindered by tiresome obstacles? I don't care much for obstacles. I found the best policy is to remove them, once and for all. I'll tell you what we'll do now. You will leave me everything you've found, and everything you have with you. Your weapon, too. You'll have no more need of it anyway. And in return, my men won't cut your throat. You'll merely lose some parts you can manage without.
Sir?
I'm not a barbarian after all.
Sir?
You'll have time enough. What is the fucking matter?
Good day, gentlemen. I have orders from the highest authority to secure this find here. I will ask you all to disperse quietly. I'd rather avoid any unnecessary bloodshed, but we will not leave this place without those bones.
Regrettably, sir, I cannot comply. I will have my prize.
You would defy me.
Perhaps you can offer something of equal value in exchange.
We're not haggling in the marketplace. This is an order.
You can give orders to your rabble, sir, but not to me.
Look, no one needs to get hurt here. Let's talk it through and figure something out. Look, let's not be too hasty here. There must be some way we can solve this without gutting each other.
Horseshit! Take a look at yourselves. You think I'm going to believe you're interested in a peaceful solution?
You're right. I'm not.
We're all here on account of these bones. Why, for God's sake?
Don't you understand what these bones represent? The things that could be made from them would have incredible value and power. With them, nothing could stop you.
And you want to sell them, do you?
What do you know about it, mercenary?
Mercenary? I was sent here by the supreme dignitaries of our order.
Ooh.
These dragon bones will be our rarest acquisition, but you don't need to know anything about that.
Order? What order?
Ah, for God's sake. They're just another band of deluded, impoverished knights who only got some fancy-sounding name from Sigismund.
How fucking dare you? What are you doing here?
I'm here at the behest of the Abbot of Sedlitz, who wants the bones destroyed to prevent the spread of heresy.
So that's why you were with that monk. Then you might as well run along home. The word has already spread far and wide anyway.
How did you find this place?
All I had to do was ask the drunkard from the tavern. He was damned belligerent, and then he started insulting us. But soon enough, he realized what was what.
I know him. We worked out a deal that benefited both of us. I found out where to go, and he got to keep all his limbs attached.
Oh, Christ. We can make a deal.
What? No. You have no idea what this is about. I don't intend to leave anything to this fucker. I'd rather put it to the test whether he's as skilled with a sword as he is with his mouth.
I see you have no idea how mistaken you are. I'll enjoy this fight. There's a good reason I pay for the best bodyguards.
Then we'll give ourselves better odds. Hey, young fella, come and join us. Once we get rid of this loudmouth, we can come to an agreement. At least you'll listen to reason.
You'll try to conspire against me? Right in front of me? Unbelievable! Consider this. You help me, and I'll let you go. That's fair, isn't it?
I won't join either of you. We can't resolve this with weapons. We have to find another way.
I thought you had some proposal? All I've heard from you so far is how we should all calm down. You just jabber on without saying anything worthwhile.
Some fucking diplomat. I've had enough of this. At the men! I'll show you!
You know much but us, fucker. Didn't see that coming, eh? Now you'll die.
Fuck it! Stop!
Can't go on.
I can, but I don't intend to die here.
Likewise.
Oh, no, you don't. You can't back out now. Fight, you bastards!
Christ! He's a madman!
I'll get you!
No, no! Get up! God!
Go to hell!
What do you want?
We're gonna
I've been waiting for you. Do it. Bad luck.
Greetings. What would you like?
I'm here about the bones.
Excellent, my son. So you found them. Where are they?
Here they are. They weren't easy to find.
Where were they?
In the woods by Rabstein. I met a few people along the way who were interested in them, and they clearly weren't keen on giving them up easily.
But you did it, nevertheless. You are a blessing for Bylany.
What now?
I'll take care of it now. I'll get rid of these bones.
How? You want to burn them?
Yes, but I'll keep it to myself where I'm going to do it. Thanks for your help. It really was a higher power that sent you to me. And you've made a good name for yourself with the abbot, too. I shall tell him everything.
Thank you, brother. God be with you.
And with you.
What's going on? Do you need help?
Thanks for stopping here. My husband, Mikush, hasn't returned from Bylany. Me and Vendula are awfully worried about him.
Wait, I need to know a bit more. What's your name?
Svartava,
I'm Henry. And Vendula would be...
our only daughter.
And your lost husband is... Mikush?
Aye. Since we've been living in this hut, he's been going to work to Bylany.
When did you last see him?
He left a few days ago. He's never been away this long.
What job did he do in Bylany?
He's a damned good tailor. But besides that, he does odd jobs around the village. He always brings whatever he earns here. Mostly food. The little we manage to grow here isn't enough.
Why don't you look for him yourself? Bylany isn't that far.
I can't. I've injured my ankle. I can't walk that far.
What happened?
I twisted it when we were running away from the soldiers through the forest. It's better now, but it still hurts. It would take me half a day to limp to Bylany.
So why don't you send your daughter?
By herself? Are you mad? She's young, inexperienced. Something might happen to her.
Did your Mikush have any enemies you know of?
Enemies? No. He's a nice man. He never hurt a soul. Maybe he's a bit too nice. He trusts everyone. I'm worried someone might have tricked him into something.
What do you mean?
He thinks people are good deep down. I don't think that. People can be right bastards. That's why I'm so worried about him.
Do you want me to find him?
You'd do that for me?
Yes. Don't worry. I'll find him. Where do you think I should start? In Bylany?
Aye. Ask about him in the tavern. He wears a fine embroidered hat. Everyone will remember him.
Why are you here? In the forest?
We had a big house in Messales. But then Sigismund's mercenaries decided to burn the village to the ground. Mikush, Vendula and me all escaped at the last moment. The others weren't so lucky. It was hell on earth. You can't imagine the terror.
I'm from Skalitz. I reckon I can.
You can? I don't know. In any case, we ended up here. At least we had some roof over our heads. But now, I don't even know what'll happen next.
Why did the soldiers attack your village?
Why? Good Lord, such a question. They didn't ask us anything. The worst thing is, the village paid some mercenaries for protection. But they took off the moment they saw horses kicking up dust on the horizon. I'm glad old Svartosh, my father, didn't live to see it. His heart would have burst.
How are you getting along here?
Now, quite miserably. I hope you find my Mikush soon. We won't be able to go on without him.
I'll try and look for him.
Oh, bless you, kind soul. And good luck.
I spoke with Svatova. I'll try and find your pa.
Really? Who would have thought there are still such kind people in the world?
My name is Henry.
I'm Vendula. Do you need help with anything?
I need to know more about your father.
I don't know how to best describe him. He's a peaceful man who wouldn't even hurt a fly. Well, he's a bit fussier than other men when it comes to dressing. That's a tailor for you.
How does he get along with people?
Usually good. He got into a fight only once, in the tavern. I don't remember why. Ma gave him an earful that time.
A peaceful man doesn't fight for no reason. Try to remember what happened. It might be important. Maybe someone wanted to get revenge.
Well, when I picked Pa up at the tavern, he was sitting with some friends playing dice. He must have been doing pretty good, because I heard one fella accuse him of being a wizard.
So he might have got into a fight over a dice game?
Lower your voice. Ma doesn't know anything about it. He might have got into a fight only over the dice, but otherwise he's harmless.
So your ma doesn't know Mikush played dice?
No, and I'm begging you, don't tell her. She'd be even more worried about him.
How's life here?
How do you think? Not so good.
I understand. Being in the forest and all.
What can you do? At least we're alive. If Ma hadn't believed the news that soldiers were approaching the village, we all could have been dead, like the others.
Why did those soldiers burn down your village exactly? Over a conflict with the local lords, or something like that?
I don't know. The village belongs to the monastery, and the custodian shows up once a year at most. Messales is a small village, or it was. As far as I recall, it's a place people would leave to find a better life elsewhere. Ma always reminisced about how in her father's time things were different, but that's what old folks always say. Farewell, sir.
I still haven't found your pa.
I know you will. I trust you. Take care now.
I'm looking for your husband. I've had no luck so far.
You won't find him here, lad. You should go to the tavern.
I'm off.
Hurry.
God be with you, sir.
Do you know someone by the name of Mikush?
Who?
Mikush. The fellow with a nice hat. I heard I might find him round here.
I know who you mean, but I never really spoke with him. You'd be better asking the tavern keeper.
Lord be with you.
I'm looking for one fella. He's named Mikush.
Mikush.
Doesn't ring a bell.
They say he wears a fancy hat.
Ah, the Hatter, of course. He's not from around here. He started showing up a few months ago. Just for a few days at a time. Sometimes he'd sleep here.
I hear he made his living as a tailor in the village.
I don't know anything about that. He never offered me his services.
I hear he enjoys a game of dice.
He does indeed. He plays a lot. I noticed that about him.
Is he any good?
You're asking too much of me, my good man. People are always playing dice here. Winning and losing. I can't keep up. Ask Chernik. He's the dice champion here. He'll certainly know more.
Good day to you.
I'm looking for someone. His name's Mikush.
Mikush? Never heard of him.
I've been told he wears a...
Fancy hat?
Exactly.
I've seen him around here. But I don't see why I should talk to a stranger about another stranger.
The innkeeper told me that you definitely played with Mikush.
Aye. I do like a good game of dice. But I'm not telling you anything else about him.
Why's that?
Because I don't know you. Like me ma always said, never talk to strangers. Come on, let's roll some dice instead.
Listen, Mikush's family is looking for him. His wife and daughter. They're worried about him. They're refugees from Messales, living in a hut in the woods. They've lost everything, now even their provider. Can you live with that on your conscience?
Look, I wouldn't wish ill on anyone. And all right, I do know a bit about him.
Tell me then.
I've known Mikush since the first moment he showed up here to play. Unsurprisingly. The bloke looked like he couldn't count to 5. I thought I'd found an easy mark. But man, was I wrong. He's a great player. And that kind of praise means something coming from me. He knows when to bet everything on the final roll.
So he won a lot?
Aye, for a while. Until his luck ran out. Then he started borrowing. One time he got so desperate, and maybe had a few too many beers, he started going on about his buried fortune in Messales, saying he'd surely pay back anyone who lent him money. Ha!
Did anyone lend him anything?
Aye, and Mikush won everything back.
And did he pay back the money he borrowed?
Of course, every last groschen. He was laughing the whole time, too.
What about that buried fortune of his? Did he ever mention it again?
The next day, he claimed he made it all up, saying he just had too much to drink. Only nobody believed him.
Did anyone seem particularly interested in his fortune? Someone who'd want it for himself, and would go after Mikush because of it?
Everyone was interested in it, but Mikush never talked about it again. Besides, that village is burned to the ground and full of rabble. Messales is an awful mess. That rhymes!
When did you last see Mikush?
A few days ago. He was playing against that hired hand, Drat. Drat lost and didn't have enough money. They left together, and Mikush hasn't shown up since. That's pretty suspicious now that I think about it. That Drat bloke's an odd duck.
What do you mean, odd?
I've heard he's been dealing with some bandits. You'd better have a word with him. But be careful.
Where can I find this Drat?
Somewhere in the village. I reckon he'll be at the farm he works at. Well, technically, because he's a big fella and looks strong, they made him into something like the village catchpole. But to tell you the truth, he's less a catchpole and more just a regular farmhand pretending to be a catchpole.
I'll go have a talk with Drat then. Thanks.
Don't mention it. And if you ever fancy a game, you know where to find me.
You're Drat?
Aye, that's me.
Can I ask you something?
Ask away, but do it fast. I don't have all day.
Do you know a fella by the name of Mikush?
I don't know any Mikesh.
Knock it off. I hear you left the tavern together. And no one has seen Mikush since.
Oh yeah, that fella. We were heading in the same direction, but then went separate ways. That's all I know.
You certainly know something about Mikush's disappearance, and you should talk.
Should I? Why's that?
Mikush has a family waiting for him.
What's that got to do with me?
I don't believe in coincidences. Mikush was last seen with you. So that means...
Means what?
It means you should stop dragging it out. What did you do to that poor man?
Me? Nothing, I swear.
So who then?
It's not my fault. It was Hanka.
Who's this Hanka woman?
Hanka's not a woman, but a man. We've known each other for years. He was a hired hand in Messalus. Certainly know what happened there. The horror. Not long ago, he came to see me. Said he was the only survivor from the entire village, but I know that wasn't true.
Because you met Mikush?
I thought he'd be quite happy that someone else got away, but he was actually quite upset about it.
What do you mean, upset?
Well, you could see it on him, all nervous-like. Seemed to me like it was rubbing him up the wrong way. That Mikush, of all people, survived.
Interesting. Did he tell you anything else?
I didn't ask him any more questions.
And did you tell him about the buried fortune Mikush talked about in the tavern?
I don't know.
Did he have any issues with Mikush?
Perhaps there was something between them. I didn't ask.
What happened next?
Then he said he'd like to talk to Mikush and whether I could set up a meeting.
Well, thanks to you, he knew Mikush frequents the tavern. So why didn't he go and find him? To talk with him?
I don't know.
Damn it! Come clean. You must have asked him the very same question. So you know the real reason. Admit it.
Hanko told me he'd joined up with some bandits, so he didn't want to show his face in the taverns. It wasn't so long ago they robbed a merchant here. I reckon he was afraid someone might recognize him.
So he wanted to rob Mikush?
I really have no idea. Hanko didn't tell me. I just wanted to help out an old friend. I didn't know what he was up to. What the hell do I care about some strange fellow with a funny hat, damn it? Hanko told me to take Mikush outside the village and then he'd meet him there. But he said Mikush couldn't know about him, and he left figuring out how to do that up to me. So I played dice with Mikush. He's damn good, so I had no problem losing a few games. In no time at all, I owed him quite a few groschen. I told him I could pay my debt immediately, but he'd have to come with me to my hiding place. He didn't blink an eye. He's damn trusting, given how things are today. I took him a little way outside the village, told him I was going to take a piss, and then took off. And that's all. I don't know anything else.
Where did you take him? I want the exact location.
Here, just outside the village, on the way towards Missalus.
Are you trying to lie again, Drat? Hanka joined up with some bandits. You said yourself he wouldn't dare going anywhere near the village. Unless you want to piss me off, you'll tell me the truth. Now.
All right, fine. It was a bit further away from the village. Actually, it was quite far.
Where were you supposed to take Mikush?
A crossroads by the forest, on the way to Missalus. Actually, almost right by Missalus. A little beyond the woodsman's camp. Just go straight. 2 roads intersect there. It's the only proper crossroads on the way.
What happened at the crossroads? I want the truth.
Well, as I was saying, I took Mikush there and told him I needed to take a piss. Then Hanka jumped out of the woods with some bandits. They grabbed him. He began to scream, but there was no one around to hear him.
And what did you do?
I didn't wait to find out what would happen. I ran.
What did Hanka promise you for bringing Mikush to him?
Nothing. I did it out of friendship.
Are you trying to lie again?
All right. He said he'd give me part of the buried inheritance.
Where might Hanka be now?
I only know what he told me. That he ran off into the forest. And that's where he joined up with those bandits. He bragged about how they made him their captain.
I'm not wasting any more time with you. God only knows what Hanka's done to Mikush, and you're responsible for it. Be ashamed.
I hope nothing happened to Mikush.
You better pray that to be the case.
I'm so sorry about it all.
Being sorry won't help. You're a snake in the grass. You deserve punishment.
Please, don't tell anyone. No one can find out.
All right. I won't tell anyone. You have committed a grave sin, but if you show remorse, God will forgive you.
Thank you. I'll never do anything like that again. I swear. I'll pray and go to church and...
Enough already. Farewell, Drat. Blood. And quite a lot of it, too. It looks like they dragged that poor wretch further. I have to find out where. That must be Mikush's hat. It looks like it fell off when they dragged him into the woods. I have to find out which way they took him.
Alert! Alert! Go fuck yourself! Show your stuff!
Christ. He's on his last legs. Let's have a look then. The burns look ugly, but something tells me they aren't the main problem. The stab wounds are worse. They're red at the edges and are hot to the touch. I think this wound is infected. I ought to do something about it. At the very least, clean and bandage it. Maybe a potion would help him. I don't know exactly which one, but I'll try to find something that'll bring him some relief. Maybe some herbs would help him. Medicinal ones. They help with healing. If I place them on his wounds and dress them, he could get some relief. I've seen enough. I think I know how to help him. I'll get him through this. I hope I can act fast enough. What are we gonna do with you? I'll pray for you. At least your soul will get some relief. How does it go again? All praise and glory is yours, Lord our God, for you have called us to serve you in love. Bless Mikush, so that he may bear this illness in union with your son's obedient suffering. Restore him to health, and lead him to glory. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. I shall clean that wound first. This'll sting a bit.
Ah! That hurts!
The wound is clean. That should stop the pus from forming. I ought to put herbs on that wound. I have just the thing for this.
Ah.
Right. The wound is clean. You should be feeling better soon. I should bandage it for you. I'll just wrap it tight. There we are. I'll give you a healing potion. I'm sure it'll help. This one should do the trick. Drink up. That's all. I'm sure he'll pull through. Mikush?
Who are you?
Henry. But that's not important now. What happened here? Why did they torture you?
I buried inheritance. I told Hanka that the only person who knows where our inheritance is buried is Svatala. And then he burned me. So much pain. I told him where he could find her. My God, he took his men and headed out for her. To the hut. You have to save them. Hurry. I'll follow you. Don't wait for me. Their lives are in danger.
It's not my fault.
Let her go immediately.
Take another step, and I'll slit her throat.
Don't do it. Do you hear me? You'll be sorry.
Someone else is going to be sorry here.
For God's sake, talk to me.
Why are you sticking your nose into this?
Calm down, Hanker. Let's talk this over. We can find a reasonable solution here. Give it time. You can't deal with everything in such a hurry.
Well, I'm listening, but spit it out fast.
Let her go. We can talk this over. It's not your fault what you've done. You've gone through horrible things.
What could you know about that?
Believe me, I know. You're horribly angry and you can't control yourself. But no one else should suffer because of that. Talk to me. Peacefully.
Peacefully. All right. We'll do it your way.
Praise be to God.
Look, I know it doesn't look good, but I was in the right. The money they hid, it belongs to me. It's my inheritance.
I don't understand. You'll have to explain it to me.
My grandfather, Old Svotosh, was rich. He worked the fields all around Messeris. He built a beautiful house. He had many children, but only 2 daughters made it into adulthood. Svatova and my mother, Ludmila. When he was dying, he fucked my mother over and gave the house and all his money to Svatova and that tailor of hers.
To disinherit his daughter like that is strange, to say the least. Did he have a reason to do that?
Reason? Svatosh hated my father. He was just your average poor commoner, but that wasn't good enough for his high and mighty self. Svatova and Mikush got married off in Kutenberg at the Church of St. Peter and Pavel. But did they invite my parents? I was still little, but I remember he treated us like dirt. And not just him. We barely had any proper food to eat. Pa had to go work in the mines at Horsham for a few groschen. He ended up trapped under rubble there. He died a cripple. After that, no one even moved a finger to help us. Not Svatova, not Mikush, no one.
You're damn lucky I came in time to help, Mikush. Things might have ended up much worse.
I only wanted justice. Nothing more.
If you felt aggrieved, you should have found another way. Violence solves nothing.
That's the first time I've heard that. You don't exactly look like the type of man that would avoid, say, torturing an enemy. Or am I wrong?
But this isn't about me. I didn't want to kill my own kin over an inheritance.
I didn't want to kill them either. Aren't you listening to what I'm saying?
In any case, you should apologise. You put them through hell.
I won't apologise to anyone. They had a guilty conscience because of what they did to me. If they shared just a bit of their wealth, nothing would have happened to them. But they didn't. They fucked up my life. I'm poor and alone.
Tell me one thing. How did you survive what happened in Messeles?
Dumb fucking luck, I reckon. That band of despicable cutthroats. Once they made their way into the courtyard, all hell broke loose. Tried to defend ourselves, but everyone but me fell. So I fled to save my brother and mother, but it was too late. Everything was burning. took off running and didn't stop until I was deep in the forest.
No matter what you've done, I must admit, I feel sorry for you. I know well what you went through. Your family? What happened to them?
No one survived. No one was expecting it. Once the soldiers entered the village, there was no escape. Their captain got his eye on my brother, who worked with me in the courtyard. Franz was barely 15. He didn't stand a chance. I ran out to the fields for Ma, but they got there first. All I could hear was a screaming. And then it stopped. I lost everyone. But Svatova and Mikush didn't.
I'm sorry, but your misfortune gives you no right to harm others. How did you join up with the bandits?
My first night out, I slept under a tree. I was starving, so I went out hunting for mushrooms, but then I saw a fire. It was that gang. Captain Loiser was their leader, a big fella. They said they'd let me join if I beat him in a fight. So, I beat him. And they made me their leader.
And what about Loiser?
They buried him in a glade.
I reckon that was no great loss.
I don't know. We didn't really get to know each other.
Enough talk.
Be reasonable. No one died in the end.
I said enough talk. I've had enough of you. Get out of my sight before I change my mind.
Fine. I'll go. You'll never see me again.
And forget about that inheritance. Got it?
I suppose it wasn't my fate anyway. Farewell.
You both all right?
My sweet Vendula. Did he hurt you?
I'm all right, Ma.
Thank God. Thanks for the rescue, Henry. And what about my husband? Did you find him?
I did. Hanka was keeping him in his camp. He was nearly a goner. I managed to treat his wounds.
His wounds? My God. What did those bastards do to him?
They didn't treat him nicely, that's for sure. But he'll tell you himself. He's on his way back now.
Hanka, that bastard. I hope he'll pay for all his crimes.
It's not important. What's important is he won't be bothering you anymore.
Well, if you say so, I'll believe you. And I thought seeing my own home burned to the ground was the worst thing.
We've gone through a lot, Ma. So much suffering. We have to leave this place. Get as far away as possible, as soon as possible.
Wait. Did you hear something?
I don't hear anything.
There! Again! Someone's outside. Jesus! It's those bandits! There must have been more of them.
Ma, take it easy. I don't hear anything.
Henry, go and have a look.
Oh, it's not the bandits. Look who's come home.
Mikush!
Pa!
You made it here quickly.
I came as fast as I could. I nearly gave up the ghost. I was so worried about the two of you.
I'm so glad you survived. That horrible hunker tried to kill us.
I know. All because of the inheritance. He went absolutely mad.
If it weren't for Henry, he'd have killed Vendula. And then me.
That lunatic. Who would have guessed that about him? He used to be a good lad.
After all that, Henry let that good lad go.
Well, let's hope he never shows up here again. I'm awfully knackered. I need to lie down for a bit. Will you help me?
Of course, Pa. Come and rest inside.
I reckon you're hungry too. Vendula, give him some gruel. It should still be warm.
All right. Come on, Pa. Carefully.
And the two of us should have a word.
What did you want to talk about?
I wanted to thank you for everything. You saved our entire family.
I'm glad I could help.
As you might have figured out, everything that happened was all because of our inheritance, which I hid from the soldiers in Messalis. I understand you've done everything you can for us, but I wanted to ask if you could go and get it for us. You're a strong, capable man, and you don't scare easy, and it'll be worth your efforts. Trust me.
All right, I'll look for it. But you'll have to tell me where I'll find it.
Listen, I'll tell you everything. My memory's not as good as it once was. Our house is the third one on the right when you follow the main road towards Visoka. Anyone entering the village goes by our house. Must have been about 2 days before the tragedy. The neighbor boy ran over and started yelling about how something was coming, that he'd heard it from the patrol on the road. No one believed him, not even his pa. After all, why would soldiers attack a monastery village, one far from their camp? It didn't make any sense. That night, though, I had a strange dream. I tried to put out a fire, but the more water I poured on it, the bigger the flames got. So I decided to hide all our valuables. Only I couldn't do it during the day. I was worried someone would see me. I put all of it in a chest, loaded it onto a handcart, and waited till nightfall.
Continue.
When night fell, I snuck out the back of our house with a handcart, making my way through the hole in the fence next to the compost heap. Mikush was supposed to fix that hole a long time ago, but as good as he is with a needle and thread, well, when it comes to other work, you can forget about it. At least it made things easier for me. First, I headed right. Then I turned left, up the path, around the neighbor's barn. It's outside his fence. I had to stop there, because the neighbor's little brat was still awake and wandering around. Fortunately, he didn't see me. So I kept going past a low wall where 2 paths cross. There, I went left. Once I was safely out of the village, a dog started barking at me, so I had to pick up the pace. Instead of turning right down the path, I went straight into the field there. That handcart was damned heavy, and it was rough going off the path. I crossed the field, making it to the woods, but the wheel got stuck there. I couldn't go any further, and it was pitch black. I lit a lantern and dug a pit to fit that chest. Took me forever. When I was done, I could barely walk straight. The sun was coming up. I left the handcart and shovel there and went back the way I came. I hope those directions are good enough for you to find it.
Why did you do all that work yourself? Why didn't your husband help?
The fewer people know about it, the better. I didn't want to leave anything to chance.
That's all I need. I'll go and find your inheritance. What's the story with your inheritance?
My father, Old Man Svatos, was quite wealthy, at least compared to the rest of the village. You see, he worked all fields and farms around here. He had 9 children, but only me and my younger sister Ludmilla made it into adulthood. And then, when he died, he left everything to me. He wanted to be sure, because with Ludmilla, he was worried she'd blow through all of it.
Why did your father disinherit Ludmilla?
She was quite flighty. She liked to have a good time, if you know what I mean. She was never without a man. Then she brought this hired hand home. Fanos was his name. She had to marry him, as she was in the family way. Svatos threw her out of the house without a second thought, heartlessly. And he never mentioned her again.
Why didn't you help Ludmilla then? Hanka said you didn't care about them. That you left them to starve to death.
That's not true. I offered to help her. I found her a job, but it was in vain. She was mad. Sometimes something came over her, like she was possessed. It was frightening, and it got worse and worse. It seems Hanka has inherited it from her. Those aren't the kind of people you let live in your house.
Why didn't you help Hanker at least? He lost his father after he got hurt in the mines. He must have been desperate.
Fanosh? A miner? Where did you hear that? He never stepped foot out of the village. He drank so much, he lost his job and then fell off a cliff at Simperk. He's a common swindler. And he's delusional, just like his lunatic mother. I hope our paths never cross again.
How did Svatosh become so wealthy?
He was a good farmer. When he was young, he worked on a big farm somewhere near Kolin and worked his way up from the bottom to become the custodian. But it's no coincidence he ended up in Mezeles. He was close with the old custodian of the Sedlets monastery. They were friends. Sometimes you've just got to meet good fortune halfway.
What did he do with such a large inheritance?
What do you think? I took care of it the way Pa wanted, so our Groshin didn't just roll away from us. So our Vendula would have a good life, a good dowry, and a good husband. At least someone as good as my Mikush.
I'd like to know more about Meseles.
Those are sad memories.
You know, I've been through something similar. Sigismund's army burned down my hometown. Skalitz.
My lord! Thank God you managed to save yourself.
Unfortunately, very few of us were so lucky. My ma and pa stayed behind.
I'm so sorry to hear that. What would you like to know, Henry?
I know reliving it isn't easy, but I'd be interested to know how the attack unfolded.
Like I said, we were prepared for it. Unlike the others, the soldiers came from the main road. First the horsemen. They cut down anyone who stood in their way. Then came the first flaming arrows, and the roofs began to burn. The horsemen then stormed the farm, and that's all I saw. May God save the souls of those innocent people.
You said you were prepared, so someone warned you?
I already told you, Henry. A few days earlier, the neighbor boy was shouting about how he had heard something was going to happen. And then, I had the strange dream. So I decided to get ready, just in case.
Did you know where you'd flee to?
I did. I remember this old hut by Bylany. A long time ago, the Lord's huntsman and his family lived there. When the forest fell under the ownership of the monastery, he had to move out. It was empty for years, and now it's our home.
What was Meseles like before all this? Was it a big village?
I wouldn't call it big. Maybe back in my father's day, but not in recent years. As more and more silver started coming out of the mines, people moved to work in Kutenberg. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nobody left to work in the fields soon. But what can you do? That's a question for the custodian. And there's no reason to ask now anyway.
Was there anything peculiar about Meseles?
What do you mean?
Well, something worth looking for, I mean. Something the soldiers might have wanted.
They didn't attack us for our buried inheritance, that's for sure. They came for food and plunder. Though, on second thought, I heard something about a mysterious cave that's supposedly beneath Meseles. But I reckon that's just an old wives' tale.
I'm going for the inheritance. I hope it's still there.
I'm sure it is. No one would ever think to look where it's hidden. Me, Vendula, and Mikush will wait here for you.
How is he?
Not well. He needs to rest.
What about you?
Not so good either. I'm still trembling. In any case, thanks for the rescue. Who knows what Hanker is capable of? That is, if he doesn't come back.
Svataba sent me for your inheritance.
She finally came to her senses. I told her I'd go there myself. We could have had money and left this hut behind long ago. But she doesn't trust me and is always so worried about me, as if I was a little girl. If she wasn't so afraid, none of this would have ever happened.
What's the story with your inheritance?
I didn't know anything about what Hanker was so angry about. Nothing about any disinheritance or quarrels. Or do you mean how Ma buried it? Aye, I saw her taking everything of value from the house and loading it onto a handcart. But honestly, I just thought it was another of her whims. But I couldn't have been more wrong.
Was Hanker entitled to the inheritance?
Who knows? He was always just a strange cousin to me. We greet each other, but that's all. I never could have expected what someone like him is capable of. When he goes mad.
I'm going to get your inheritance.
Good luck. Maybe then Ma will finally wisen up and we'll leave this place.
Jesus!
I was in Merciless and followed your instructions.
And? Did you find it?
The chest was buried by the forest, exactly where you said. Next to the handcart.
My God! Thank you for everything. Vendula! Mikush! Henry has returned, and he found our inheritance.
Finally! Some good news.
Don't keep us waiting, Henry. Let's see what you have for us.
Here's everything I found.
Fabric, Roshan, and our ancestor? Nothing's missing.
This fabric's as good as new. Think of all the money this will make.
Finally, fortune smiled upon us.
It surely has. I told you that once our ancestor comes back to us, everything will be like it once was. Thank you, Henry. Here's something for your efforts. If you ever feel like learning something new, Mikush here would be glad to teach you.
So he teach me to play dice, eh?
You can't learn dice. You have to have it in your blood.
That's not what I meant. He's a tailor by trade, so he can show you how to mend your clothes.
I reckon I could. Stop by, Henry. I'll find time for you.
Okay, so that is where we are going to call it for this episode, and I have to say, I am a little underwhelmed with this set of quests that we have just done. Basically, a lot of just kind of fetching. We had to fetch that guy, and then we just kind of, you know, I could have killed that bandit guy, Honka, or whatever his name was, but I kind of sympathized with his story, even though those people were trying to say that he is actually just crazy or whatever. I don't really think it makes much sense that his mom was just crazy and he was also just crazy. I actually felt like this quest was kind of like the one that I mentioned about the vineyard, where I almost wanted to side with the other person here. I mean, yes, he's the bandit and he tried to kill the daughter, and so therefore I actually do not feel that bad for him. But at the same time, I mean, like, if I have to pick a side there, the mother she seemed a little suspicious with the way she was telling her story and everything, and same with the dad, but he of course got tortured, so I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's really any good side in this particular quest, except for the daughter, of course. She definitely did not deserve anything that happened to her. And then, yeah, so I feel like the amount of user input here is kind of low, and it kind of is unfortunate. I almost wish that I had just skipped the quest now, in a way, because it just kind of doesn't really let me roleplay the way that I would like to. And then the one with Posey, I thought was cool, but it seems like it kind of ended halfway, right? I mean, it seemed like we were going to help him take back his home, like his actual home maybe, or find that heirloom thing that he wanted, and it just didn't let me start a new quest for him, so I don't know if that's like a thing that Warhorse is planning to do later. So yeah, and then the one with the dragon bones was just kind of, it's another one of those things where it's cool because obviously as the player you know that these things are not as they seem, but I mean at the end of the quest it's just you giving dragon bones, and it's like, well, that's obviously not what they are. What are they? I mean, I don't know that much about you know, Bohemian you know, paleontology or whatever, but what are they, like mammoth bones or something like that? So I don't know. That quest also seemed a little bit unfinished. And that's kind of what it seems like, is maybe this whole area is kind of a little bit unfinished, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. I got the sense that it's really not completely done. But that's going to be it for this episode, and in the next one, I skipped over a second quest line for that bathhouse lady. So we're going to take care of that, and then there is another quest to the south of Kutenberg, and we'll take care of that, hopefully in the same episode as well. And then we'll start to move towards the north and northwestern part of the map. And I think we've got about a handful, maybe, of side quests left, and I may do some of the tasks as well if they sound interesting. And then we will get to the main quest. But, as always, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.